With the 16th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Yang Hansen from Zibo, China, and the Qingdao Eagles.
That is the wildest pick I've ever seen. Those jobs up there are on the line. This is what one anonymous NBA front office member said about the Portland Trail Blazers selecting Hansen Young with the 16th overall pick in this year's draft. And this is what a source from the Denver Nuggets said. Chinese Jokic. The Trailblazers just shocked the entire NBA world by selecting Hansen Young, not just in the first round of the draft, but one pick outside of the lottery. To give you an idea of how shocking this is, he was sitting in the stands when he got drafted. Not in the green room, nowhere on the coverage, but in the stands, just hoping that maybe he would hear his name. But there were people who didn't even have him projected to be drafted at all. Most people thought he was somewhere in the late 30s or 40s. The Blazers thought differently, and depending on who you listen to, this will either be a genius pick or, well, you heard the other guy. This could lead to some people being fired. But I'm not trying to focus on the negatives. We've got to talk about why anyone would ever call someone Chinese Jokic. And if you want to know why, just take a look at him here, controlling the ball at the three-point line. And the moment he spots that backdoor cut, he drops a perfect dime with precision and with speed. Or this time getting the ball in the post and immediately spotting the cutter and dropping the dime over his shoulder. Or this time where he gets the ball around 20 feet from the basket, and look at him immediately recognize the mismatch underneath and then throw the entry pass for the easy bucket. You can even look at the footage Portland released from his training day. And I know it's training, but you can see the ease at which he's dicing up the defense with his playmaking, and then he's pairing that with his size, with his strength and his footwork to get around the rim and finish, and just making it look so easy. And clearly what they saw in the workout helped persuade them, because according to another source, the Blazers have been watching Young for over 2 years. They believe he possesses a super high basketball IQ and incredible ability to execute passes and help everyone on the floor play better. And I think the most promising aspect, if you are high on Hansen's potential, is he's going to get a chance to grow. The difference between being drafted 16th and 45th isn't just about the money or the ego or the positioning. When a team makes a decision like this, particularly on a prospect like this who is polarizing and might take some time to grow, it means they're going to commit to giving him every chance to succeed so they don't look foolish, so they look right. As opposed to if he was the 46th overall pick, the investment just isn't as high. Sure, there is more pressure, but there is just so much more opportunity, and you have to take that 10 times out of 10. And I'll be honest, it's particularly great to see a player from China drafted to the NBA. We all know about Yao Ming, we know about Jeremy Lin, who is Chinese American, but for a nation that thrives in so many aspects, and for a country that loves basketball so much, there just hasn't been a ton of representation. I just think it would be amazing to see another Chinese-born player thrive in the NBA. And with the 16th overall pick, I think one thing we can guarantee is Portland are going to give him an opportunity to do just that. And just speaking to his on-court potential a little bit more, anytime a big is compared to Nikola Jokic, I think it's like when you compare someone who can shoot to Steph Curry. Those guys are outliers, but the hands, the vision, the processing speed, the footwork, you do see some of those traits with Hansen Young. Now, Nikola Jokic is a 3-time MVP because he does all of those things better than anyone ever, but if Young can at least do those things better than most people, that could still make him very valuable. And I think a lot of his passing value will also be determined by his scoring value. If he is going to become the best passer he can, like all great passers, you also need to be a really good scorer as well. You need to force the defense to help over and then pick them apart. And this is a part of Young's game that is going to be absolutely make or break. break, his post game. Can he consistently take advantages of post-ups in the NBA? We saw him do it in the CBA, averaging 16 and 10 a game and looking too dominant for his competition. Obviously, the competition is going to be significantly tougher in the NBA, but at 7'2", he has good hands, he has good footwork, he can spin off defenders, he has size, he has strength, he has touch, he has length, he has all of the traits you could hope for to be a good post scorer. The question is, will he get that opportunity? And speaking of opportunity, what are Portland doing? Can we just take a second? What are Portland doing? They have 4 centers. 4 of them, and not just any centers, these are all centers. These are not versatile power forwards who can play center. DeAndre Ayton, Robert Williams, Donovan Clingan, and now Hansen Young. Surely this means that both Williams and Ayton are on the way out, because if it doesn't, I have no idea what Portland are doing. But what is quite interesting is in back-to-back drafts, they have taken 2 guys who are extremely big, 2 guys who have question marks over their mobility, but 2 guys who can block shots, who have a nice feel for the game, who put themselves in the right positions at the right times. Donovan Clingan and Hansen Young have a lot of similarities, and that is what is quite interesting, because these are 2 guys that have both been polarizing prospects in their drafts, and Portland have decided, we're not just going to take one of those guys, we're going to take both of them in back-to-back years. And that is the biggest question mark over Hansen from an on-court perspective. It is the defense, it's the athleticism, his ability to move his feet well enough to consistently alter shots or stop drives. Now, he did win DPOY in the CBA. He did average nearly 3 blocks a game, and in general, he was dominant in China. And I think people have exaggerated how unathletic he is or how slow he is. Let's get some things right. He can move a bit. Just look at him here, slide his feet and block the initial layup before pushing the pace in transition, getting the pass, and finishing with fluidity. There are plenty of examples of him moving his feet, looking comfortable, getting into the right position. He is someone that is going to have to play a lot of drop coverage, don't get me wrong, but he is also a good shot blocker, and if he can be good enough in those positions to block enough shots, to alter enough shots at the rim, then maybe that can make up for the lack of foot speed on the perimeter. Not to mention, you have to consider who he'll be playing next to defensively. You have Toumani Camara, one of the best defenders in the league for the next 10 years. Leave him there, don't even consider trading him. You have Shaedon Sharpe, Scoot Henderson, Denny Avdia, even Jeremy Grant, now Drew Holiday. These are top-tier athletes. Some of them are top-tier defensive players, but all around the floor you have potential that could help Young if he gets some minutes this season, and I think that is a key note to consider, and I think that's a reason the Blazers have taken Clingan and Hansen in back-to-back years. And I think with the Blazers, they have a lot of depth and talent on this roster. They were looking for someone to add something just a little bit different, someone with a spark, someone with a unique skill set, and with the 16th overall pick, they absolutely took someone like that, and I just hope he turns out to be a great player, because it would be amazing to watch.